First and foremost, integrity matters, and I've served with integrity for the 20, going on 24 years now with president term on council, and it really does matter. It mattered when we had the airport threat to be taken away. The number one issue was about corruption, and I tell people there's this cloud of corruption over city government, and it's still there. And the contents of that cloud have not spilled itself out yet because of COVID. Many grand juries were held up, trials have been held up. So we will be seeing more and more about what happened in the previous administration next year. One thing that I've done is try to always serve with integrity, but also I've been a bit advocate of transparency, which I believe can starve off corruption, because people, if they can see it, they may be able to point out some anomalies or something that's not right early on. The second thing, ethics. I've passed numerous pieces of legislation to strengthen our ethics code to get at making sure that we have ethics. But the most proudest thing I've done on the accountability front, as president, I authored legislation that has our first inspector general and compliance officer in the city, so that we can internally hold elected officials, employees, and others accountable for following the law. If we're able to keep ourselves under control, perhaps we won't have to have an outside federal agency coming in and going through an investigation at City Hall. The other piece that I authored as president and was passed, and it was an idea I had that is now taken off, and many auditors across the country are picking it up. And that's called independent procurement review officers. Many of our corruption things came out of us getting goods and services and awarding contracts. This is a third party, independent group of people, independent of the mayor and the council, that review a procurement from beginning to the end and have to attach their report to the legislation that the council passes. And why is that important? Because when I would ask a lot of questions and ended up voting no many times on some of these awards, the very people you're asking the questions to are the ones that are trying to get you to vote for it. So you'll never get a straight answer or a full answer. This way, the council has independent eyes on it. It's already stopped some procurements. It has reissued some procurements, and it saved the city money. And I will, as mayor, continue to find all those barriers, roadblocks, obstacles to keep a future administration from going back to any corrupt ways, even if it means that I will have to relinquish some of the power and authority that I currently have as mayor.